Hey, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on what time you're able to catch this. My name is Pastor Carlos Malley. I'm the outreach pastor of the Circle Church of Alexandria, located in Alexandria, Louisiana, here for another episode of Manhood Monday. I would love to be outside to be able to share this devotion with you all, but I had some technical difficulties yesterday with the wind, with recording. And so I'm going to absorb the sun through the sunroof and hopefully be able to share a word of encouragement with you today. Today, I wanted to talk about the topic of imitating positive mentors. This past weekend was just a joyous occasion for me. I got to see one of my mentees become an ordained elder of Now Word Covenant Church, as well as one of my other brothers and ministers of the gospel, elders Albert Long and Elder John Griffin. And so Albert and I met several years ago when I was a minister at Now Word trying to become an ordained elder. And he shared with me how his first time attending service was the night that I preached at the service. And we have been friends for several years. And there was a picture that I took he took back in 2015 when I was ordained. And it was just amazing to see, here it was 6 years later, me taking a picture with him being ordained. And so Paul says in 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1, imitate me as I also imitate Christ. Okay, so I want to focus on that first part of imitate me. Now, one thing I want to mention is men, we should be imitating godly men, godly leaders, godly fathers, godly husbands. So when Paul is saying imitate me, he's telling his proteges, whether that be Timothy, whether that be Titus, whether that be his followers, that I want you to follow my example. But he says in the back half of the text, as I also imitate Christ. And so I think it's very, very important when you're talking about imitating your mentors, that your mentors need to be godly people. Okay? I'm not knocking being mentored by people outside of the ministry, but there are some personal character traits that I need to see in your life if I'm going to follow you. And am I going to allow you to speak into my life? I'm beyond the stage of, okay, you can give me advice on money, you can give me advice on, life, you can give me advice on how to do this, how to do that. I need to see some character traits in your life that replicate you following Christ. Because, anybody can be successful. Anybody can make a bunch of money. Anybody can, lead their organization in whatever their chosen field. But the thing about it is your character is going to keep you there. How many stories have we seen, like David from the Old Testament, where somebody rises to power only for them to fall by grace, because of some character flaw or some decision that they made that caused them to lose whatever the position or influence is that they have. And so when I look at young men like Albert, and I look at guys like John Griffin, who, in my opinion, John probably wasn't even looking to become an ordained elder. John just loved serving people. John was an usher, and that's the position he held in the church for years before God chose John to become an ordained elder because of his service to God and his service to people and his service to the church, which the church consists of people. And so to see these two men just answer the call, to see a fulfillment of a dream that was planted in Albert years ago, when I just suggested that he attend seminary because I thought that God would open up many doors for him down the road. To see, here it is 6 years later, that young man to be professional chaplain in the military, to be working on becoming a professional hospital chaplain in the civilian world, to be an ordained elder within the church, to be a father, to be a husband, to be a really good friend, a very good young man in terms of mentoring others, just to see that come to fruition, it just does my heart some good. And, I'm reminded of that story from War Room, when the woman was given by God somebody to go out and mentor and somebody to help share the gospel and transform their lives. And that's what I hope my life, and that's what I hope all of our lives in the locker room are doing for other men, particularly men, because that's what I'm focusing on today. And so I want to just encourage you, men, that if you're going to pursue mentors and you're going to imitate people, make sure that make sure that you are imitating godly men with godly character that place more importance on character development than career development and career progression. And I promise you, you won't be let down. And so I want to once again say congratulations to Elder Long, to Elder Griffin. I want to thank you for tuning in today. And I want to always leave you with follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. But going back to the text, as Paul said, imitate me as I also imitate Christ. But do not imitate me if I'm not imitating Christ. Because I want Christ in anything that I do to always get the glory out of anything that my hands are touching, anytime that my feet are to the plow, anytime that I am out doing anything in ministry, anything in life, I always want to make sure that God goes to the glory. So, y'all have a blessed week. Thanks for tuning in. Until we meet again, y'all have a